Hi, Exploring Jordan with Jules. These are a few more things that are a little bit different now that I live here in Amman in Jordan. Just like most developing nations, when you're talking toilets, it is a little bit of an adventure. So because the infrastructure for toilets is not very advanced, you do not flush your toilet paper here in Amman in Jordan. There is a rubbish bin beside the toilet and you put your paper into there. Another thing to remember about toilets is always carry your own toilet paper. If you go to a public toilet, there's not necessarily always going to be toilet paper there, and you also may encounter a squat. So the other thing that I carry with me is basically for a female a shiwi, or a little silicone funnel, so that because I can't potty squat, it makes it a little bit easier for me to use a public toilet if it's not a pedestal, if it's a squat toilet. Another thing that makes my life a little bit more interesting here in Amman in Jordan is there is a call to prayer 5 times a day, just before dawn, just after midday, early afternoon, early evening, and in the evening, in the night time. And there is also 2 Eids, 2 Eids, 2 like holidays, vacations that last about a week. So that's another thing that's a little bit different now that I'm here in Amman in Jordan. The other thing I have to remember when I go to a supermarket, and if I have my backpack, for example, if I want to, because I walk to the supermarket, buy my groceries and then put it into the backpack to come home, what I have to do is I have to give my backpack to the security. And after I do my shopping, collect the backpack from security, pack my backpack, and then I can walk home. That's not a problem. But in other stores, if you have purchased things and you've got bags, you go and you give that to security. They give you a token so that you are not carrying that shopping into other shops, so that you are a security risk. That was another thing I had to get used to, is giving up my shopping when I was walking around different shopping centres. Another thing that I had to get used to was actually having to remember to do my visa extensions. So I put it on my calendar just before I need to go and make the application. And now that I've done the application process, I'm a little bit more familiar. You have to do it at your local police station. That's where you start the process. Then you go to the central police station at Abdali to get the biometrics done. Once the biometrics are done, you come back to your local police station where the hard copy of all of your paperwork, your copy of your cushion, or for me that's an ownership of the property, or your rental agreement, or your letter from your employer, a copy of your passport, are all kept on a hard copy file in the local police station. Another thing I had to get used to here in Amman in Jordan is the communal rubbish bins at the Hawiya. So what you do when you see them, sometimes there is food hanging to the side, the 2 hooks where the truck comes and empties the rubbish bin. What people do is they hook a plastic bag with unwanted food, unwanted bread, unwanted salad, unwanted takeaway containers with food, and people leave it there for other people to take if they want from the public rubbish bin. It's a very different communal idea, but anyway, that's what it is here in Jordan. Another thing that I've chosen to do now that I'm here in Jordan is I'm trying to spend my money in a variety of different shops so that I distribute it at different suburbs, different neighbourhoods, Marka, Tababor, in the city, here in near our gardens. I try to go to Arabia. I try and distribute my money when I'm doing any shopping so that it's not just one shop that is benefiting from my custom. And the other thing I have to remember to do is, if I am in one of the smaller shops in the suburbs and it is time for prayer, it's not uncommon that I have had to just wait either outside the shop until I can see that the attendant has stopped praying and is ready to serve. No use going in and standing in there and just waiting, in their space while they're praying. So just wait outside. Yesterday, a couple of us were waiting outside, waiting for the guy to finish his ritual, and before we went into the shop and did what we needed to do. That's just another thing that I have to get used to here in Jordan. Everything is at the time when it's meant to happen. You cannot force anything or push anything here. You just have to relax. And the last thing for this thought is one of the things that is very different is my electricity. I have just received my electricity bill for my unit for 1 month in Australia, and that was about 70 Australian dollars. I've got my electricity bill for 1 month here in Amman in Jordan, and it was around 10 JD. So multiplying that for Australian dollar, that's 2.25. So that would have been 22, 24 Australian dollars for my electricity for a month here in Jordan. Just another way my life is a little bit different now that I'm here in Amman in Jordan. This is Exploring Jordan with Jules, saying stay safe everybody and happy travels.